Good morning,
Moeder.
and it's 2022. It's been a year last since we said anything.
Ja.
Can you believe the time flew by like that? Just went crazy, eh?
Ja.
Yeah, suddenly we were saying Happy Christmas and Merry New Year and all these other weird stuff. And,
Ja, it went
and some
fast.
happy birthdays we had, and then suddenly all has gone.
It seems
And
like everything is slowly but surely getting back to normal.
yeah, and suddenly we walked into the office yesterday and people were asking questions, and I was thinking, whoa, stop.
Yeah, but there's still quite a lot of places that's still on a
Yeah.
slow go slow, whatever.
Mm.
Um,
And Happy New Year to whoever said Happy New Year to
Happy
you.
New Year to
So,
everyone.
yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. And we hope that 2022 will be one of those years that really turns the tide for a lot of South Africans. I mean, there is hope in the air. The residence visas is there. That's hope. And I really hope that that comes through this year. And I hope it comes through quickly.
Mm,
But we're talking about something else.
yeah. I just want to say I was lying in bed this morning and I just want to mention specifically Sean Langer. I was thinking specifically about you. I don't know why. It just came into my mind.
I'll
With
call
this.
him. I'll call him today.
Yeah.
I'll call him today.
I hope you well and your
Yeah,
family will be
I'll
able
call
to
him
join
today.
you soon.
Yeah, there's still a lot of split families as well, but we're talking about something else. We're talking about when the honeymoon
It's
is
over.
over.
Yeah.
And I've named it the other side of immigration, the dark side, because this is the dark side. And I want to say why I'm calling it the dark side. When you arrive in New Zealand, everything is wow. And we are here nearly 5 years, and everything is still wow for me. So
4, not
four,
5.
4 years. 4 years, sorry, 4 years. Mathematics is not my strong point, by the way. Everything is still wow for me in a certain way because I rose color a lot of things for myself, and that's just to make life more bearable as well.
Yeah.
It's easier.
Yeah, it's easy to sugarcoat stuff.
Yep.
And New Zealand doesn't need a lot of sugarcoating, but it's not just about the country,
Yeah.
it's about your personal journey.
And
Yeah.
your, how can I say, the human emotion in immigration.
Yeah.
So this morning we're talking about the dark side when the honeymoon is over.
I'm not going to call it the dark
Okay, let's
side.
not call it the dark side, but it's quite a dark side if you really intensely go out there.
Yeah.
So
When you immigrate, they call it the honeymoon phase, is when you arrive in your new country. For us, it was New Zealand, but I'm sure that it is
for every country.
for every country exactly the same. I think other countries probably even more difficult because of the language barrier and everything. So when we arrived in New Zealand, everything we were in, it was the honeymoon phase.
It was the honeymoon phase, and I mean,
Yeah.
it's a honeymoon phase because everything is new.
And you know what I think it is? It feels like you're on holiday.
Yeah, and I mean, you suddenly you drive to work, you drive past places you've never seen in your life before.
Yes.
So even doing a mundane task like going to work, you see,
Yes.
wow, check this waterfall. Oh,
Yeah. You don't know the area, you
Yeah.
don't know the people, so everything. It feels like you're on holiday, on tour in a different
Yeah.
country. It really feels like that. For me, it sometimes still feels like that. um, and then that lasts for quite a while. I think about 6 months, probably. Some people, I think, the honeymoon phase is over a little sooner than 6 months,
I
but
think for other people it's probably longer as well. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, the honeymoon is over. So that is when you start to realize this is not a holiday, and this is your new life, this is your new country. You'll have to get settled here. You can't just hang around anymore.
Yeah.
You have to find a house. And by that stage, you probably would have found a house already.
Hey, if we I would think a lot of people it's about 6 months to a year into their new life before they reach the end of the honeymoon phase.
I know of people that struggles from the beginning,
Yeah,
but in general,
Yeah,
I think
let's
about
talk in general because
6 months. Yeah.
people differ so widely that there's a lot of people that
Yeah.
will struggle from the beginning.
And the thing is, I read up on it a little bit yesterday, and studies show that it is more difficult for grown-ups to adjust to a new country than it is for children, and that's why I always say, and I heard a lot of people say, it's better to immigrate while your kids are still small
Yep.
because they just adjust to a
Yep.
new culture and a new country like that. We know we've got friends that immigrated to the UK 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, and she was crying her eyes out because how are the children going to cope? They were very small then. I think the one was 3 and the other one was like 18 months or something. And those boys just flourished from the start. So I know you are worried about your children, but don't. They really adjust very quickly. I think it's up to us to adjust.
And I want to pick something up with what you said here.
Mm.
I think also the partner, if I came and I was in this massive honeymoon phase, but you were still struggling and kicking and not really 100%, how can I say, bought into the whole new concept of moving to a different country, it will even be worse for you as the partner. And I think that's, let me rather rephrase, I've seen a lot of people struggle, or a lot of people's partners struggle. The partner has adopted good, and then one of the two hasn't adopted that well. They haven't even found the honeymoon phase yet. They're still struggling and kicking. It's like trying to baptize a cat.
That is also something that you have to work through while you're still in South Africa or whichever country you are immigrating from.
Yep.
You can't leave and immigrate to a new country if your mindset is not right. Then you will really struggle.
You have to buy into this concept of
we're
leaving everything behind. We're probably never going to see that again to move to a new country.
You have to.
Yep, you have to.
Yeah. And then another thing that I saw is that from the age of 15, it is more difficult to adjust. So that is why I think so many teenagers struggles to adjust to a new country.
When we were talking about this this morning, I said to her, what about the fact that you take a teenager and you move from one province to another province? Let's say you're in Gauteng and now your kid is 15 years old and you move down to Cape Town.
It's the same.
It's very much the same. So everywhere that there's a change, there is going to be some resistance.
Yes.
Is that the right word?
But what makes it more difficult is this is not like you can just drive up to Johannesburg quickly to visit your friends. This is a little
You just tell your friends, get on the bus and come visit. A little bit different.
And what I said to Jan this morning, we spoke about it, for grown-ups, for the parents, it is a decision that you make.
Yeah.
That, you have to make, and you make it. But the children didn't choose to come. They must just get with it and come with you.
Yeah.
So that's really difficult for kids.
People, can I say, differently adopt or differently adapt to the new country?
Yeah, everyone is different.
I want to read something that I picked up on the other side. Somebody just saying they adjust so well that they lose all respect and forget where they come from. That is in some instances, but I've also seen South African kids adapt here so well and still be absolutely respectful, wonderful kids. I can name quite a few by name.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah. I know that a lot of parents struggled with exactly that.
Yeah.
That Vilma's talking about, but
you get the flip side of the coin.
You get the flip side as well. I think it's probably got to do with the school and the friends and there's so many things that
the problem is that at 15 you're half human, half nothing, and you don't have an identity yet, and you don't know how to, and you don't know how to, and it's difficult.
Yeah, it's a really difficult age.
So.
Yeah, and then
the problem with parents as well. At 15, we really don't need or know what to do with our kids because they're half human.
I just think how difficult it is for us to adjust. So I don't even want to know what's going through a 15 or 16-year-old's head when they come to a new country. But yes, then the honeymoon phase is over and you realize that you start to miss your family and the familiarity of South Africa really a lot. And the thing is then to work through that and not give up is not always, it's easier said than done, should I say.
Easier said than done, and probably giving up and justifying that is probably a very, very easy process. But to just carry on and just to be there day after day. I think that's a more difficult way. I see people go back because they miss some of the weirdest stuff, and even myself. I've never thought about going back, but one day I actually missed cream soda.
You've told this story about 100 times.
This is something that stays with me, and it keeps me humble, if you want to call
Yeah.
it that. This grounds me, and I keep on thinking back to the time that I missed cream soda so much that, and then I realized I haven't had cream soda for many years.
Mm.
So it's all in the mind. I think that's all in the mind.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not about the stuff. It's just the realization that that is not your country anymore.
Yeah.
This is it. This is where you're going to live now. So this is a new culture because the culture is different. Even the Kiwi culture. I'm not only talking about the Maori culture. Even the
Kiwi
Kiwi culture
totally
is
different.
totally different,
Yep.
and that is what I think parents struggle with their kids because they're adapting to the Kiwi culture, which is not always. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but it's not always the way that we are used to. Yeah.
So, and when something is different than what you're used to, you tend to point one, either think it's bad or think it's very good.
Yeah, well, I think it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Some people find the schools wonderful. Other people really struggle to.
And then you talk about the same school. It's
quite
quite interesting.
So I think, but that's with this immigration thing is everyone's journey is different, and
although we're on exactly the same path, everybody's got it different. Yeah.
Your journey will be different from mine and from the next person. So, you realize that you are very far away from your family, and you will not be able to see them so often as you thought. When we immigrated, I was thinking every 6 months I will fly back, even if he didn't go with me. I would fly back just to see the children and family and everything. And well, I've been back only once, which is not entirely my fault. It's all COVID related. But anyway,
that was a curveball, if you want to call it a curveball. That's something totally out of everybody's control.
Yeah. And I don't know if I should say this, but I think in some instances, a lot of people would have gone back already if it hasn't been for COVID. A lot of people are going back because of COVID, but if you can't go back, you're stuck in a country, maybe that helps you to just get over that stage of wanting to go back.
I want to read one or two things. Mariska's saying COVID just made it 100 times worse, that you miss so much more. Friends can't come and visit. Somebody saying my 13-year-old daughter still find it difficult to adapt.
I know.
Yeah, I know. And somewhere along the line, you need to get help for these kids.
You have to.
You
have to get them some kind of counselling or something. And you know what? They are very rebellious also at that age.
I don't want to understand that.
They don't want the counselling, and they don't want to listen to what you have to say. So that is unfortunately something that they have to work through.
The problem with counselling was always that it had a bad connotation to that. People always.
It's not like that anymore.
It's not like that anymore, but a lot of people still think back about the times that counselling, you had something wrong with your head. It's not like that.
You know, that's another thing about immigration, isn't it? It's one thing also about this honeymoon phase that's over. You have to look after your mental health. From the first day that you decide you're going to
even during the honeymoon phase.
You have to look after your mental health. Yeah. That is unfortunately something that just kicks like this. You still find the one day and then the next day you just So you have to look after your mental health, and you have to find someone that you can confide in. I know it's difficult. I remember how difficult it was for me. That first 3 months that we were here, I was just doing my own thing, at home, setting up home. I loved it. It was really nice. I went to the shops and I really enjoyed that time. But then your friends in South Africa don't talk to you so much anymore, and you realize you don't actually have anyone to talk to. You've got your partner, but even we are not always on the same page. So you have to find someone that understands or kind of understands or what you're going through, even if they're not experiencing it the same way, they know the struggles and they
Yeah.
know what it's all about. And it was very difficult for me to find a friend or people that I can actually speak to
And trust.
and trust.
That's also the
And
big other
yeah,
thing.
I think what some people, I think it's easier for if you're outgoing and you're extrovert. I think it's probably easier for you because you just go up to
Yeah.
someone and start talking.
So those hermits out there, you guys need to get out.
But I am not an extrovert,
Yeah.
and I won't say I
You've
find
adapted
it.
well. You've
Yes,
adapted
no, I
well.
did. I don't struggle to make friends. I struggle with
Good friends.
trusting, and it's not easy for me to walk into a room and just to start talking to some
Yeah.
people. So it was really difficult for me to go out and meet new people. It was really difficult, but
Yeah.
I did it, and I'm so glad I did.
Mm. And I think if you reach this the end of the honeymoon phase, it's good as you say to keep your eyes wide open.
Mm.
It's really good. I know some people get bullied at work, and I know some people live in crappier houses, and some people live in an area in the country where it's cold and wet and that type of things, and they have to stay there because of their visa conditions.
Mm.
But everything in life is temporary, even life.
Yep.
Keep
No,
that in
that's
mind,
true.
guys.
That's true.
Once you got your residence, you can move. I spoke
Yeah.
to somebody yesterday who said she had a bike and she hadn't ridden this bike in 3 years, and now suddenly there are 2 sunshine days in one after the other, and she wanted to ride a bike, something like that, down deep down south. So I said to her, "Why do you want to keep on living there?
Mm.
If the area is so bad, move out when you can. Move out when you can."
Yeah.
And the same with people getting bullied at work. And I know that that's a reality. That's a real reality. Once you've got your residence, you can move out and do that. And
The
do that.
thing is, you just, even the people that are still thinking about immigrating to New Zealand or wherever, you have to get your mind set to that point where you realize 2 years. If you can just get past that 2 year
Yeah.
point, doesn't matter where
Yeah.
you are. If you have to start from the bottom or at the bottom and work your way up, if you have to endeavor bullying or bad language or non-religious companies or whatever, just try to keep sane for 2 years. When you've got your residence, you can move out, but don't give up
Yep.
before you've got residence. I struggle. I get it, but I struggle to understand why people will go back to their old country before they have residence in the new country. What if this was the last chance that you'll ever have?
And for many, many people,
Yeah.
I'm not one or two, for many, many people going back, this is really the damn last chance they will ever have in their life to move out.
I really struggle to understand
I had a
that.
flashback yesterday. I'm going to be quite honest about this. I had a flashback yesterday. I was looking on Facebook and something from Property 24, something popped up about houses in this metro that is so beautiful. I just clicked on there. For one or another reason, I clicked on there and I opened up and this beautiful house with a grass roof and swimming pool was selling for 2.9 million rand. 2.9 million rand. And that was in Port Elizabeth or whatever they call it these days. And for one moment, I thought, geez, that is about a deposit for a house in Auckland.
Yeah.
That is about for a deposit in a house in Auckland. You can buy this mansion.
Yeah.
This mansion. But it took me another second just to realize it's back in South Africa.
Yeah, don't look at it that
No,
way.
no. But I mean, if it happens to me, it will happen to anybody else. And you are going to get these emotions. You've got to deal with that. You've got to realize why you've left.
It's like Nancy, it's a decision you make with your head, not with your heart.
Yep.
If you have to follow your heart, you will probably never leave.
Yeah. Can we put a few of these in? It's not quite a long one. Kids are easier influenced, not being sure where you fit in the new country. It takes one bad child to look friendly enough to talk to, and the kid falls for all the wrong crowd. That is sadly enough. That is there.
Yeah.
I agree. You need to put yourself out there to talk to everyone in the shops. It's hard, but to make the first move, to still be empty-handed. That's another
true.
one. That's
You
another
have
one.
to.
You have to put
do
yourself
it.
out there.
Yeah.
And I know it's not easy, and the culture is so much different. If you ask people for a braai, let's say if you ask Kiwis for a braai, they won't
Yeah.
really understand what
I
you're talking about.
remember thinking when we decided to immigrate to New Zealand, I was thinking, oh well, at least it's not like a country with a whole different language. Like it's not Spain or
Oh yeah, Portugal or
Portugal or
something like
something
that.
like
Yeah.
that.
Mm,
But I must tell you, even if we speak the same language, the culture is just totally different, and it's
mm,
something that you'll have to adapt because um, and I think it's probably the same in every
yeah.
country. If I think about South Africans with immigrants from other countries, the people whose country you are living in don't want to hear about your struggles.
Mm,
They don't want to. They don't want to know how you did stuff. Except if they become your friends and they're really
yeah.
interested to find out how you lived and what you did and how you do things. But you have to adjust and adapt
Mm,
their culture. Unfortunately, that is how it is, and you have to make peace with that. Otherwise, you're really going to struggle. You can't have a small South Africa in
and
New Zealand.
and we as South Africans struggle with that. I know. I
Yes,
am like that.
yes,
I am
yes.
like that. I'm the guy that wants to change and move stuff and
Mm.
get the ball rolling and let's do it. And
Yeah, I know. That's just the way
we
that
are
we are.
working on island time down here.
Yeah,
That's the one sad thing. We're working on island time down here.
yeah.
It's sad in one way, but on the other way, if you adapt to that, it's also a good thing.
Mm.
So
You know what I'm seeing now with all these comments, yeah? There's a lot of women that really need to talk about coping with their teenagers.
should we get somebody in to talk
I wonder
about that?
if we shouldn't, but you know what? Yeah, it's a good thing to
Mm,
help the parents to
yep,
cope with the children, but I think at some stage, and that's probably something that we can look into this year,
yeah,
to get someone to talk to the kids.
mm,
Someone that's not, someone that's nearly their age,
yeah.
that can just testify a little bit and just help them through that.
Mm. I want to read something out. It's on my personal page, so I can't pop it on the screen. It says Michelle Swart says, we came over 2 years ago with two teenagers, and it was really tough for them, but slowly getting better. I wish they were still small. I do believe, Michelle, that it probably was tough for you as well.
Yeah.
So,
I think we were lucky. Our kids were big. Okay, we couldn't bring two of
gotta
them.
bring two of them.
But the
That was
one
the
that
bad
we
part.
did bring with us was also very amped to come.
Mm.
So we really didn't have that struggle. He also struggled in the beginning. He was, how old was he? 21 when we came? 20
Something like
something,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, so he also struggled to make friends, but he
Mm.
is doing very well
And
now.
the thing is, the thing for me as a father, I could see he was struggling.
Yes,
And the problem was,
there's nothing
my
you can
hands
do.
was tied.
Yeah,
I couldn't go and introduce him to friends because that's not how it
yeah.
works with
And
parents.
I think what makes it difficult is when you've got teenagers and you
Mm.
immigrate, when they that unhappy and probably telling you that it's all your fault, because I could just imagine that's
Yep.
what's happening. It's probably easy to just say, you know what, I'm throwing in the towel. Let's just pack up and go
Yeah.
back. So to keep, I don't know how you do it, but
Keep your sanity.
keep your sanity and just stay strong to get through that. I think about you guys.
I want to say something, and
Mm,
I've seen that this is how my son coped.
mm,
He had hobbies.
yes.
So one of his hobbies was fishing, the other one was boating and spearfishing. And with this hobbies, he slowly, and I'm going to put it out there, slowly but surely gained the trust of his fellow Kiwis on the
Mm,
island. And that's how he started building up a relationship or friendship base with
yeah.
these guys. It didn't happen overnight.
No, it takes a
Although
lot of
he's a very,
time.
very good fisherman, it didn't happen overnight. It really didn't happen overnight. And I could see him struggle there. But in the long run, it turned out for the best.
Yeah.
So my thoughts are just, I'm not saying I'm right. Please don't quote me on this. If your kid has got a specific
Interest.
interest or a hobby or something,
Mm,
you try and get them into that line because point one, it keeps them busy, it keeps you busy,
mm,
and they could probably meet like-minded kids there.
yeah. The thing is just to get them off the couch and
Yeah.
into the community. So if they, I'm sure children that has got a positive attitude that wants to meet new children, because
Mm.
that's what Zahn did. He just realized that he'll have to get out. So he joined the spearfishing club and he joined a lot of other fishing clubs and whatever. And that's where he made his first
Yeah.
friends. The other friends came with time.
And it did take time.
Yes, it took about 2 years.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time. So,
But he's got a lot of friends
yeah,
that can press
just
a
have
button on his
to
phone and
be
speak to somebody and just be out
resilient
there.
and just push through. I know it's really hard. Just don't give up. I know it's
My
easier
problem
said
with
than done.
give up is it's gone pop now. 8 new families going back January already. I don't know if you saw that.
I
So
saw that. It's really
that is
heartbreaking.
horrific. If I think about the amount of families coming in, I actually am feeling we're losing more than we're gaining. So
Oh yes, at the moment
yeah,
it's
at the
really
moment.
hard. I was saying this morning to Jan, I really can't go another year without seeing my kids and grandchildren. So something's got to give this year. I don't know how we're going to do it, but yeah.
Sad enough, government is all about knee-jerk reactions, and it's not go there. So, yeah. All right, we've got another 3 minutes left. What do you want to say to people?
I just want to say that although it's hard, try to just adjust because it gets easier. It really gets easier. And unfortunately or fortunately, some people really adjust quickly, like 3 months, and they just all into this new system. And for some people, it really takes a long time. I know of people that has been here for years and years and years that's still trying to adjust. So I think the sooner you just change your mindset and get with the program, the easier it will be for you and for your partner. And remember, you're in this boat together.
Yeah. And one other thing you got to do as well is you got to close the negative influences from South Africa. And I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. There's a lot of South Africans back in South Africa sitting and just waiting for everything. I was looking at somebody shared a post the other day about somebody's car and boat that was stolen.
Yes, I saw that.
Have you seen the tremendous negative?
Yeah.
And I went into everybody's. I looked where all these negative influences come from.
Yeah.
There's all South Africans sitting in South Africa who's probably never ever left the country.
What I want to know is, if you're still in South Africa, why are you on a group for South Africans that wants to immigrate to New Zealand?
Especially if
you don't have anything positive to say, then why are you on that group? Are you there just to I don't know, just to put negativity out there on every comment? That's true what you say.
I call them the Facebook warriors.
Yes, no, it's true
warriors.
What you say. And you know, when you're in a bad space and you read stuff like that, then it's something that can easily swift you, and then it's probably the worst decision that you can ever make.
And to those South Africans that sitting in South Africa, just listen to what I've said now. Yes, there is crime in New Zealand.
Of course,
but that car and that boat was stolen. They were tied together, or they were hooked up.
Yeah.
Nobody was raped. Nobody was hijacked. No. It was just stolen.
And the thing is, what got me down from that post is no one said, "I'm sorry to hear someone stole your boat. How can we help you?" It's just all these negative. I don't know. It's like people just pick those subjects.
But that's guys and girls, this is the first one of 30 minutes with Jan in the new year in 2022. We want to wish you the best for this year, and we really hope you excel in whatever you are doing. Even if your decision is to stay back in South Africa, we really hope that wherever you are happy, you are content. And if you're struggling with these type of things, speak to somebody. Don't keep it to yourself.
No.
You're not big enough for this. To be quite frank, you're not big enough to keep all of this up emotions for yourself. So,
and you know what? It's not only you that feel that way. I can promise you, the first person that you speak to who immigrated is going to agree with you.
Yeah. And the thing is, in the long run, you need to get this out. This will make you a better person. This will really make you a better person. So, okay, until next Thursday, same time, same place, and we're out of here.
Enjoy your week.
Enjoy your week. Yeah. And it's a short week, so this is only the second working day in New Zealand.
Yes.
Yeah, all right, guys. See you all. Bye.
Bye.